Hello. Well, there's some good news and bad news for today's lesson. The good news is there's no new assignment. The assignment is still to finish up what we started last class. The bad news is we're going to talk about proofs. If you thought the proofs in grade 12 pre-cal were interesting, they get even more interesting in calculus. So proofs in calculus are not the same as the proofs we did in pre-cal, right? The proofs are basically just different theorems that we need to know. I guess some people might say memorize, but we don't like that word in the education world, so we'll say that you need to know the proofs and be able to write them out and state them and explain why they exist. So we didn't talk about any proofs yet before the suspension. I was kind of waiting to see where things were going, but traditionally, there is usually a proof on the midterm and on the final. If you look through the old exams, I think maybe just once in the last 10 years there hasn't been, but you can definitely expect to have some proofs on your midterm and final. Which one? We don't know, so that means we need to learn all of them so we know that we're ready for the proof that they give us. So for today's lesson, I'm not going to work them all out, but what I did do is I sent you a sheet of the proofs that you need to know. So remember that we're past the midway point in this course. Traditionally, related rates is the midway point. So everything from limits to related rates, that's what you'd expect to know. So the handout that I gave to you, there are 5 different proofs you are required to know for your midterm. The first one is something about if it's differentiable, it implies it's continuous. So we did spend a lot of lessons talking about, is a function continuous, yes or no? So you're very clear on the 3 different criteria you need to meet if something is continuous. And then we went straight to our derivative units and we just went straight into learning these rules. So I gave you the rules, but I never really connected if it's differentiable, it implies that it's continuous. So I did leave a couple days on our schedule that week before the midterm. There's no new lessons or notes. I wanted to save that time for exam prep and also to cover the proofs as we go through. I'm not going to write everything out for you because they're all in your textbook step by step. So you basically just have to read through and know those proofs on your own. But the week before I'll kind of go through and explain it a bit, but that's just kind of the way it is. That's the fun part of calculus. So the first one, if it's differentiable, it applies that it's continuous. That one I did actually type out in fully for you, so I will send that to you. So you will look, it is a 3-page proof. Is that all part of the proof? Not really, but there's different parts to the proof. Like I said, on old exams, you've had to know all of these, be able to apply them or apply the proofs to different situations. So that one I did email you this in full detail about how being differentiable implies that it's continuous and how you can check when and where something is continuous or not. Now the other ones, questions 2, 3, 4, 5, I have another document. I typed out some of them. So again, you have this summary sheet that I gave to you, that the 5 proofs that you're expected to know for your midterm, which is at the end of May. And then I did go through and type up some of them. But again, use your textbook instead of my notes. I can't guarantee these are error-free. As you notice, it's a lot of little steps along the way. I think I have it correct, but to be sure for your exam, go through your textbook and you do need to know the proofs for all of them. Now today's lesson, we're not going to talk about any of these, but remember that's the midterm. Today's lesson, you would need to know for the final. Remember, we're past the midway point. So today there's the proof that you'll need to know your final is the mean value theorem, which I've given to you in today's notes in that package that I emailed to you. But to know the mean value theorem, you have to know Rolle's theorem first. If you know Rolle's theorem, then you can apply the mean value theorem. So I did type them up. So in the note package that I sent you, you have Rolle's theorem, you have the mean value theorem. But like I said, I know proofs are hard to read. It's just you're reading and trying to figure that out. So I'm not going to make videos because I found some really good ones that exist. I've been making videos daily, but I found a couple that I really liked. I know that you guys all have your websites that you found that really help out, but I'm going to send you a couple videos on Rolle's theorem, a couple videos on the mean value theorem. So there's no new assignment today, but just to let you know that there are proofs. The proofs in calculus are not the type of proofs in pre-cal. The proofs in calculus, they're long, they're tedious, and you basically just have to know/memorize them for your exam. So again, the ones today, mean value theorem, you need to know Rolle's theorem first before you can understand that. This is all preparing you for the final, but for your midterm, this is the cutoff point. So the differentiable implies continuous, which I sent to you, and basically the derivative rules, you already know these rules, but we didn't go through the proofs about why those rules exist. So I've given you the handout with the page numbers. Like I said, it would be good if you just started learning I guess you can't do 1 per week, like 1 per day. So it is quite time consuming to know those. So do not leave this to the end. You cannot memorize proofs the night before. So break it down, maybe just tackle 1 proof per day. Okay, So good luck with the proofs and good luck with your previous assignment.